Everybody good today? I am. I got home from work today, and on my drive home, I was saying to myself, I would love to pick up a gyro. I would love to pick up something to eat. I would love to just do a pickup. And it's rainy and it's kind of chilly, and I just really didn't feel like coming in here on a Monday to cook. And I said to myself, okay, all you're going to do is end up spending 10, 11, 7, 8, 9, $10 on something that's not going to satisfy you, and it's really not going to be that good for you. So just go home and do what you plan to do from the time that you took out the product that you took out of the freezer last night and thawed out in the refrigerator until the time you got home. So what I found in the freezer was a lamb leg shank, something like that. It's a piece of meat that it was just about this big, and it's lamb. And as you know, lamb isn't as fatty as other meats are. And I'm not a big meat eater, like I always tell you, but I thought, okay, I had this in the freezer for I don't know how long. And my uncle actually gave it to me. He didn't know what to do with it. I really didn't know what to do with it. I only cooked lamb one time in my life, and it was for an Easter dinner one time, many, many, many years ago. And it was a crown, lamb chop crown. It was pretty good. It wasn't bad. And that's kind of the last time I cooked lamb. And that was actually over 20 years ago. So he gave me this. I didn't know what to do with it. But every time I think of lamb, I think of gyros. Gyros, however you like to say it. And I love gyros. And that's about one of the few meats that I eat. Now, gyros, when you get them at the gyro shop, it's a processed meat. It's that big thing on a spit, and it's a processed meat that's grinded up and grounded up and shaped and spins, and so and if you buy the kits in the store, they're not too bad, but that's also again processed meat. So you're going to have maybe quite a few preservatives in there and binders and fillers and things like that. So I took it out. It was thawed out when I got home. I took it out of the refrigerator, and what I did was I had a skillet and I put some oil in it, and I salted the lamb leg thing, roast, whatever you want to call it, with a little bit of vegetable oil and kosher salt. And I just rubbed it kind of in there. Not a lot of kosher salt because kosher salt granules are bigger, thicker, more coarse than your regular table salt. So you don't need too much of that. Same way with Himalayan salt. When the little pieces are bigger, is more coarse, you're going to get more salt flavor than the table salt. Table salt, you have to keep dumping and dumping and dumping and dumping and dumping. So that's why I like kosher salt. And kosher salt is good for sealing in moisture and getting that meat at the right texture when you're searing it. And that's exactly what I did. I seared the whole thing, and when I say sear, that means that you're locking in the moisture. And the outside of it will be cooked and brown, but not fully cooked. It's still going to be raw all the way through. And then I put it on a pan, and it came with these little like herby leaves things. And so I just roasted it in the oven for about 40 minutes at 350. And I tented it with some foil, just like I made a tent with foil. Didn't quite seal all around the pan, just made a tent so that the hot air of the oven could circulate through there, but kind of house a little bit of moisture in there as well. And I did that for 40 minutes on 350. I took it out, and when I took it out, I just made these slices. I cut these slices when it cooled down a little bit. And see how it is like gyro meat, the way that I sliced it down. It's like little pieces of gyro meat. And it really tastes good by itself like that. And see how lean that is? You don't see any fat running through there. The meat's not specifically healthy for you, but it's good to have a little bit of protein in a meat source sometimes, depending on how your body type and everything is and what you're looking for a lifestyle and a healthy lifestyle. So I sliced it down a bit, and what I'm doing now is I have the skillet out again with some oil in it, and I'm going to heat up the oil. Now, I didn't run out and buy anything today. Everything was in the house that I'm making this homemade gyro with. I've got tortillas made out of quinoa flour, so that gives you extra added protein for your gyro meal. I got these at Trader Joe's. And I found some sour cream in the fridge. And I did have cucumbers, these little English cucumbers. Then when I put my hand in the bag, they're mushy, they're no good. There was like a little bit of mold on them, so I had to throw them out in the garbage. So I said, well, what am I going to do now? Because tzatziki sauce is typically made with cucumbers, and you just kind of shred down the cucumbers and put them in the sour cream. But I had to throw them out, and I said, well, what am I going to do to make this taste like tzatziki sauce? So I found the sour cream. I found a lemon. I have dill weed, which I love the flavor and taste of, which is kind of pickly, but not a strong pickly flavor. And salt and pepper and a lemon. Did I say lemon already? So I just kind of put all that together. I guess like 2 tablespoons of dill weed, because I really love dill weed. Salt and pepper, lemon juice. Yeah, that's all I put in here. And it tastes pretty darn good. Now, cumin. When I was looking at recipes of how to make a homemade gyro, it kept listing cumin. And I'm telling you, when you smell this, cumin, it smells like meat. It smells like a gyro. It smells like a Mediterranean Greek meal. It smells absolutely delicious. It could be a candle as far as I'm concerned. Which I do like all my candles to smell like food. I don't like the floral stuff. I like for it to smell like food. So the oil is heating up, and what I'm going to do is I have some leftover minced garlic that I found in the refrigerator, and I'm going to put a little bit of that in this oil. Just a little. Let that saute around. Don't cook it up too much. Just enough to flavor that oil. And I'm just using a regular vegetable oil, nothing avocado, no olive oil, thing like that. And I'm going to take it off the fire so that it doesn't burn. And you know this smells absolutely divine. Just going to put that back on there. And I am going to go ahead and take my meat slices, and I am going to toss them in the skillet. Just like they do at the gyro shop when they have the grill going, and they slice it down for you, and then they put it on the grill and they just kind of warm it up and sizzle it up a little bit with some of the seasonings that they have. And I'm just going to let that saute. And what do I have here? I've got 21 seasoning salute from Trader Joe's. I'm going to use a little bit of that. Sprinkle just a little bit of that in there. I don't want to overpower my dish with seasonings. Again, Chinese spice, because for some reason, one of the recipes that I saw called for cinnamon. And the Chinese spice has hints of cinnamon and clove and nutmeg, which you already know I love And then it actually called for oregano. I don't have fresh oregano, so we're going to use some dried oregano, just a little bit. Oregano can be rather strong. I'm going to put just a little bit more salt. A little bit. And I think that's it. And I'm just going to saute this up. Just so the flavors can get in that meat. See that? Put the light on there a little bit. Oh, no, that light's not doing much. I gotta get new lighting in this kitchen. Just don't know what kind I want yet, so I've been slacking on it. So that's all sauteed up. So remove this. I'm gonna light the fire on this low burner. Pull out a shell. And I'm going to turn this burner down real low, and I'm going to go ahead and take this shell just to soften it up a little bit and put it right there on the burner, just to warm it up a little bit. I have a tomato, and I'm going to slice that up a little bit because I love tomato on a gyro. Just gives it that coolness. Plus, there's a lot of lycopene in tomatoes. They're not quite in season yet, but it doesn't matter. We still need that lycopene to fight cancer, and especially for men. A lot of that lycopene help with your prostate and prevent cancer of the prostate and things like that. So that's really important to have lycopene, and there's a lot of lycopene in watermelon as well. So I don't want to cook this meat too much because then we're going to end up with a dry meat. All right, so it's getting a little warm, getting a little bit flimsy. Fire went out. Put that back on the burner there. Get myself a plate. These aside. Oh boy, it is Monday, and I don't mind Mondays. A lot of people hate them, but why hate a day that has to come anyways? You just better hope you never get in a position where you wish you had another Monday, because it ain't that bad. It's all in how you make it. So, all right. So that's nice and heated up. All right. Okay, it's nice and warm, getting flimsy. Now the quinoa tortilla shells, they're not going to be as flimsy and soft as your floured ones, but it'll still serve. It still do its purpose. You don't want it to get crunchy or anything like that, unless you like it crunchy. It's your meal. I didn't spend a dime. This is stuff that I had in the refrigerator, and you have to learn how to improvise. Again, get them spices, get them seasonings, get those oils in your pantry, get those in the kitchen. When you see a piece of meat, or you see a piece of seafood, or you see something on sale in that flyer that you get every week, just pick it up. Just pick it up, put it in the freezer. You don't have to have a recipe in mind, but if you see a good deal on a piece of protein, just pick it up, put it in the freezer. I guarantee you will find a way to hook it up later that week or the next week. Find a recipe, see what you have in your house, go with the flavors that you like, sear it all together. If you don't like it, then, put ketchup on it. You'll get through it. Just dab some ketchup or some barbecue sauce on it. It'll be fine. All right, so it's nice and warm. Looking good there. I'm going to put this on the plate. Can you see that? I got to do better with getting a camera situation going here, but you get the gist of it. All right, we're gonna put that, what I'm gonna call gyro meat, right on the shell. I'm gonna sprinkle this tomato on there. Let me see what else I may have in here to put on. I got some lettuce. Open that lettuce up. Get the lettuce all sliced down. Cut that off like that. Rinse it. Get the bugs out of there. Get a paper towel. Squeeze that water out. Rinse it. Rinse it out. Yeah, you can see I got my pajamas on. I come home on days like this, get myself together, get comfy. All right, so we're gonna put a little bit of lettuce on there. And now I'm gonna put my own special tzatziki sauce on there. Boom. 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 I like my stuff sloppy. All right. There you have it. Your little homemade gyro. Okay. You just fold this baby up like this. See that? I got my gyro. I got my gyro. You will notice with the quinoa tortilla shells, they're a little bit chewier than your flour ones, but they're healthier for you. You'll get used to it. And it's good that you get to chew in a lot because you work up those amino acids so that you can digest really well. And you know, it is a little late in the evening to be having dinner, so you definitely don't want your stomach to be working too hard while you're sleeping. So get those amino acids up. Didn't have to spend a dime. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. Quit. Stop complicating cooking. I don't know what happened to us to be so intimidated by cooking. It's television, magazines, people's Facebook posts. People are embarrassed to post their recipes and their meals because they feel like they might be judged by somebody that's a little bit more advanced than them. You'd be surprised how you can inspire others. I tell you what, I have seen more people on my timeline, on my feed, posting their dishes, getting in their kitchens, putting their cameras up, their phones, cooking. I don't care if it's from scratch. I don't care if it's half store-bought and half scratch. I don't care if it's all store-bought and you put a meal together. You're doing it. And I'm really proud of you. All right. That's it, folks. Thank you for watching my video on how to make homemade gyro with the ingredients that you already had in the house. And I think soon I'm going to talk to you all about spices and herbs and seasonings and things like that. That's really important. I was just saying, you could have like the same leftovers in the refrigerator. And if this seasoned right, the flavors are going to marinate. And if if you got to eat that spaghetti or whatever for the next 3-4 days with a different side dish, a different salad, toast, whatever, you're going to enjoy it. You got to get the flavor. I don't care how basic the food is. We need seasonings. Everybody have a good night, and thanks for watching my video. And I have yet to name what I'm doing here. I don't have a title. I don't have anything like that. I'm just Dawn, and I love food, and I'm not trying to spend a fortune for it. So have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. Happy cooking, everybody. Bye.